Hey everyone, I'm Julian Carter from Delenta. Great to see everyone today. Thanks for attending our webinar. Today I'm really excited that we're joined by one of our best customer in Australia. We're joined with Dara from SAOR Consultancy. SAOR Consultancy is a business coaching consultancy firm, but they have a very niche focus and they work specifically with health, wellness, and fitness business operators. So they help businesses scale, help them to systemize and improve their performance. Dara, great to meet you today. How are you doing today?
Good. Yeah, likewise. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited for this. Something very close to my own heart from my own experiences, as well as with SAOR Consultancy.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got a fitness background, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Multiple fitness businesses along my my 12-year journey from the age of 18.
That's fabulous. You've got a great background there. So what I'm going to do is just tell the audience quickly about what Delenta does and what you use it for in Sara and what you do. A few things about Delenta. So we're a coaching platform and we are in 26 countries all around the world. We help companies scale their coaching operations, reduce admin, and grow efficiently. So we have a big coaching community at Delenta. We have our whole product is actually driven by our community, and our whole product roadmap is driven by our community. So we build the features and functionality that they want to see in the platform. Delenta is a mix of words from Dutch, delen, to share, and tar is a local English word saying thank you. So thanks for sharing. So as I mentioned, we're in 26 countries. Our platform is tested at scale. So we've done 32,000 sessions worldwide, in fact, even more now. We have very high ratings for customer happiness, and we're highly rated on all the software platforms like G2, for instance. Okay, Dara, so quickly back to you. I've just gone over what we do at Delenta. So please tell us more about what you're doing in your organization.
Perfect. So yeah, thank you for that, Julian. I suppose
Yeah.
what we do at SAOR and who we are, as you said, we are SAOR supports our members worldwide with health and fitness industry specific business coaching and accountability. Now, I myself have been with SAOR close to 3 years, and on paper, that is what we do. Okay, but how we do that and our core values have remained the same from day one. I think just how we deliver the service has ultimately changed and in my view definitely improved with Delenta's help for sure. My background is in the fitness industry. I first broke into it around the age of 18, 19 when university just wasn't my cup of tea. I decided to become a professional bodybuilder and I did that in the space of 2 or 3 years. Alongside that, I have scaled two fitness businesses. My first one, I don't like using the word wrong, but I will say probably not in the smartest way to scale. I learned a lot of lessons and I brought those across to my second business, which was a physical studio in the west of Ireland. The first one, I say wrong because my version of scale was just to bring in more staff with no systems, no softwares, and no real operational cues behind any of that. It was just burnout, complete and utter burnout. And what we have found with our members, and I myself personally, is that burnout very rarely happens because you're delivering your service, right? I never get tired of coaching. Never. I love it. I'm deeply passionate about it. What I get tired of is the admin load that comes along with that. And you'll find a lot of operators will probably say the same. And ultimately, that's what forced me to sell my first online coaching business. After 2 years, I was physically and mentally completely exhausted, even though I was 20 years of age. So you think that wouldn't occur when you're that young, but by God did it. So leading into my second business then, which was a physical studio, like I said, I started to implement softwares, systems, and processes. Now, while the software wasn't as good 9 years ago, there was softwares there in place. And now at SAOR Consultancy, through my own experiences and through the mission and the core values at SAOR, we help and we aim to improve systems, processes, growth, and ultimately scale health and fitness businesses across the world. Like I said, probably not how I did it the first time around, but maybe how I did it the second time around. And ultimately, I sold out of that business as well last year. And now I am in a full-time position with SAOR.
Fantastic.
I suppose what to expect from us today. And look, we're going to be talking through a number of different points, but ultimately what I would love for people to take home is that scaling your business, albeit exciting, and we always have a grand vision, and we notice this from a number of our operators as well. We always know where we're going. Absolutely. 5 years down the line, you know exactly where you want to be, whether that's, multi-site gyms or whether it's having multiple coaches on board, coaching 300 people across the world. But what a lot of operators will struggle with, and I struggle with this myself, is what are the stepping stones that will allow us to get there and not experience burnout along the way? And that is where softwares and systems and operations come into play. So you've met me, you know a little bit about me, but the scaling challenge will unpack the hidden costs of manual processes like bookings, payments, client tracking, and how they drastically limit growth. And we see this notoriously across the vast majority of health and fitness businesses. And we're going to look at software as the solution, not just a tool, and ultimately utilizing that software to its full ability. And then setting for scale, the practical roadmap, like I said, the stepping stones along the way, what bottlenecks you can expect to run into, and how you can resolve those with automations and with the software like Delenta provides. We'll also look into a little bit of a case study and our collaboration on how Delenta has helped us to scale effectively and without the burnout. Obviously, we'll leave some Q&As towards the end as well. So the scaling challenge, the hidden cost of manual processes, and how inefficiencies can hold your business back and ultimately cause you to crash and burn. I know myself personally, a couple of things that I used to struggle with was bookings, reminders, payments, onboarding, and ultimately tracking. Like I said, we can deliver incredible service. Usually we're deeply passionate about coaching, but it's these processes that really hold us back when we're looking to scale. In particular, from my own experience, it's payments, and chasing payments was just, not only was it physically fatiguing, but mentally absolutely horrible and a nightmare. The impact of that is lost time, missed opportunities, and inconsistent client experience. Examples, spreadsheets. There will always be a place for spreadsheets in business. I personally am allergic to them because that's what my first business was built on, was spreadsheets. Now, again, we're moving across to software-based tracking. Completely changes everything for us. And some of the pain points that some of you may be experiencing is double bookings, chasing late payments, limited client tracking, and no performance reports. It's all well and good, checking your business in terms of revenue and seeing that it's doing quite well. But at SAOR, we like to look deeper at the figures and at the numbers and why we are doing well and what has been the catalyst to that growth, or what has been the bottleneck and what has been holding back ultimately you from growing your business and from scaling. So we look at software as the solution from an admin overload to growth mode. And we have seen this countless times with our members. So software is a growth enabler, like I said, not just a tool. The beauty about Delenta is that you guys are incredibly quick, like you said in your initial introduction, at updating and listening to our requests and hearing us out and ultimately working on what we request. So the benefits of that for health and fitness businesses is you can automate a lot of your admin. So it leaves you with more client-facing time, which ultimately should be your priority in your business. It also allows you to be consistent with that experience. So you're not just providing an incredible experience to a certain number of clients, and then you're limited with the amount of time that you have to give to the rest. It becomes really consistent across the board. So whether you have 10 clients or 200 clients, you can deliver a consistent experience throughout. Data and reporting for smarter decisions. Big one here is that having the data in front of you to judge on when you should be making big decisions within your business, not just based on kind of a whim or a feeling or an emotion. Now we can put that emotion with data and make executive smarter decisions. Easier team collaboration, 100% teamwork is how we get there in terms of growth. And professional systems, higher retention, and ultimately for us, a big referral push, because people say how easy it is to work with SAOR and how streamlined our operations and our softwares are. So you have a centralized client management, you have automated scheduling and reminders, content resources and sharing, which is a big tool for us as well. We have numerous resources from marketing tools to call scripts and guides. So having that in one centralized hub has reduced our need for multiple softwares. Using Google File or Google Drive links, it just reduces the friction and improves the usability at which our members can access this information. Obviously, we have our client progress tracking and securing payments. So setting for scale, building systems for tomorrow. And again, probably, like I said at the beginning, as entrepreneurs or as business owners, we're fantastic at looking at the big picture. We're always thinking about the big picture. But ultimately, what we end up doing is actually reacting to situations as they arise in the moment. A lot of businesses are just ultimately reacting to situations. And what we find is that they're reacting because there is no software and there is no strict set of operations or guidelines around a situation arising, like a late payment. Ultimately, if you don't have a software in place, you're having to manually chase this. You're having to call the member, you're having to text them. And not only does that take up time, but it's also not a nice situation to be in. None of us like chasing people for money. So having a software there that enables this automatically removes that mental load of having to chase people, but also reduces the amount of time spent in that. So identifying the bottlenecks like your scheduling, your billing, and your communication, also automating. A lot of our onboarding now is automated, which again reduces the amount of time we're spent doing, tasks that can be automated and hopefully allows us to deliver a good service. So case study, a studio cut 60% admin and double retention via automation. How they did that was essentially the business owner was now allowed to actually step into a growth phase within his business because he had the systems, because he had operations, because he had clear software and guidelines around that. He now was doing less reacting. He was building less for, today. He was building for tomorrow, and he was ultimately building his business set for scale within the future. Prior to that, every day he was just reacting to situations. Now he knows that if a situation arises, he has a software that can either deal with that, or he has an operation and a guideline within that software that his staff can jump into, check the resource, and how to manage set issue that arises. Our collaboration with Delenta, and it's powering our growth for sure. And where Delenta directly helps us at SAOR Consultancy and allows us to scale, and it has for sure allowed us to scale, is our client onboarding. Like I said, allowing that to be automated removes a lot of the manual processes that would have been there prior to this. And before moving across to Delenta, there was a period of whittling down all of our options. And ultimately, this is why Delenta won for us, was our client onboarding, and a big improvement is course delivery. So again, not only did that reduce our cost because we were paying for an external LMS system, it also allowed us to have it in one central hub. So now instead of having multiple different softwares, multiple different logins, we know logins are the bane of existence because we lose passwords. Now we just have one centralized hub. And not only that, in which we can also just assign them across. So we're not asking clients to set up new passwords, new logins. It's all on one system. And not only that, it also handles the payment for us, which has been incredible. That has been a huge game changer for us. We deliver courses in sales and marketing. Our Spark program has seen a huge uptake. And I believe that is because we have been able to streamline and systemize all of our systems. It also allows us to schedules and set reminders. So all of our calls are held within Delenta, seamlessly integrates with Google Meet. It also allows us to secure our payments. So we take all our payment information and gather those through Delenta. And our content and resource sharing, like I said, which has been huge for us. Again, reduces the amount of friction, reduces the amount of logins, no more Google Drive links, all within one centralized hub. And that is the difference that Delenta has made to SAOR Consultancy, and it has allowed us to scale without experiencing our burnout. So at SAOR, we always like to give each member what we call a key three. But today I'm just going to give a key one. So one action step. We're all about immediate actions, not reactions. So this week, when you listen to this, replace one manual process with software this week. And start with one. Start with the bottleneck, the real one that is bugging you both mentally and takes up a lot of time physically. And work on automating that. Being able to scale requires systems. Software removes the manual processes and the right tools for you to focus on your clients and ultimately your growth. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Dara. That's fantastic. It's great to hear how you're using the system in real life. We always love to hear stories from our customers. It sounds really chaotic before you had Delenta. So when you started looking for a coaching platform, and there are several out there, how long did it take you to find the right solution?
So for SAOR, I'd say we went through probably a 3-month screening process
3 months.
trying out, multiple different trials, different softwares. But it was a long-winded decision. And ultimately that came down to obviously pricing, the actual software kind of, grow and scale with us, which is a big one for us as we launch, new courses, delivery and stuff like that, and kind of handle all of that and to shine through.
Yeah. I think what I've found with Delenta is that obviously instead of using multiple different disparate tools, Excels and payments and all that, everything's in one place. So you get one holistic view of
Mhm.
all the data that you need to build up in the business. And from there, I mean, we're building AI tools at Delenta to interrogate that data and to get insights and things like that through note takers and what have you. But really, it's about also the coachee experience. And as a company, we always focus on the coachee experience. So that's a really intuitive user interface that they can use instinctively, and it's delightfully designed, etc. And I think when you have that, that reflects really well on your own brand and your professionalism, etc. We've also found the market as well is because the coaching model, it typically uses the associate model, and associates can work for different companies, etc. So if you have that model, it's a great tool to drive accountability, so you can see the actual delivery of sessions happening and the billing is correct and everything.
Mhm.
So that's one key thing we've seen across our customer base. So would you use for your payments, do you use the PayPal or do you use Stripe? To
Stripe. Yeah,
using Stripe, yeah. Tell me also, we have obviously mobile functionality at Delenta, so we have the app on Apple and Android. In your client base, do they use the mobile app?
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like I said, after our coaching calls or after consultancy calls, we provide what we call a session recap, which is basically a two-page document of everything that we spoke about with our key three action points on there. And not only that, but we also set goals and tasks
Yeah.
specific to that. So the ability that they can quick access that on their phone, if they're on the go,
Yeah.
like we always say to our operators, if you don't know what you're doing or you find yourself just doom scrolling on Instagram, jump into your Delenta app, see what your goals are, and see what tasks are, and start ticking those off. And what we do notice is the ones that do that are growing exponentially and at incredible speed. Because our goals are very strategic, and the tasks and roadmaps of that are very much geared towards their growth. So when they're doing that, and like I said, the members that are adhering to that, they are growing. And a big part of that, as you said, is accountability. I always like to say that we can give the secrets and sell the accountability because ultimately that's what people need.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're all on the go today, aren't we? All glued to our mobile phones. So, the more
Yeah,
interactions you have with the platform and your clients, the more the engagement is really. Yeah.
absolutely.
Fantastic. Yeah. Tell me about the training and when Delenta puts in systems, we normally audit your workflow and we train your coaches, we train your admins. How was that experience for you?
It's been fantastic. It really has.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of these softwares they can scare people just due to the sheer amount of, ability that is within them. But our Delenta setup process and our guide, not only for us as coaches, but also for our members, it's super streamlined. And as you said, it's very intuitive. Nothing is overly complicated. Our onboarding for us personally as coaches was very streamlined and very straightforward. Like I would say after probably the guts of maybe 2 weeks we were all seamlessly using the software. And I will say the same for our members as well. It was a matter of weeks, not months, whereby they were intuitively accessing the software either on PC or on their mobile and making use of it. That is definitely a huge winner as well. Because what we see with some of the other softwares that we trialed is that they almost tried to offer too much and it just made the system messy and clunky and just difficult to
Mhm.
understand from our
Yeah.
perspective as well as our members as well.
Yeah, I think Delenta is like an organically grown company. So our founder, Sam, he found the business just by listening to coaches' problems. And then gradually over time, he built solutions for each problem. So that's how the company has scaled very efficiently across. And it's all by word of mouth marketing. As a company, we don't do any digital marketing. It's all word of mouth and recommendations that we get our business. So it's a great testament. Tell me about support. Have you had good support from us?
For sure, 100%. Maxine, who is our member success lead, I'd say she's definitely on the ball in terms of reaching out to you regularly if we do have something that we need, additional resources added, or if there's an issue that arise. There has been very, very little, if I'm being honest, of just random issues. It's been a lot of additional reporting and analytics that we requested, and absolutely the response has never been outside 24 hours. It is almost immediate. We get a response from the support team. They're extremely helpful and always aim to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. So yes, I have to credit you guys. Incredible support.
Fantastic, yeah. Tell me, while you were using Delenta, had there been any bumps in the road at all? Any unexpected surprises when you put in a coaching platform like Delenta? Something unexpected came along, or was
No, I
it
don't think so.
very
I
smooth?
think there was a good expectation from my end when we discovered that we could create a coach's profile, I guess the best way to describe it. So additional to this, I have a digital media marketing agency as well, and I'm all about just streamlined marketing as well and making it efficient and easy. So from our point of view, each coach has their own, we'll call it a landing page,
Mm-hmm.
whereby they can very much customize it to them. Like my one has a video on there, an introduction to me and what we do. It's got all of our packages and our my different backgrounds and my experiences. So it's a really nice page that we can send on to potential leads. Not only that, we have it directly in our Instagram bios, whereby if you were to land on my Instagram page, you click on the link, it brings you straight to this page. And straight away from there, they can go ahead and book a call with me. Our connect sessions is what we call those, which are 45 minutes initial evaluation of your business and how we can aim to sell and ultimately help your business. So that has been incredibly streamlined for us, because not only do we now have a website, but we also have a direct link in which we can push traffic to, and they can book directly with us. And all that is automated in the background as such, as in it goes straight into my Google Calendar. I get a notification, I can accept it, and I just jump straight in when we need to take that call. That has been almost game changing for us. Just been able to, from a marketing perspective, because I love marketing, that has been a huge help for us, because now again it reduces the need for more landing pages being built out separately, which take up more time, they're more costly, and they're not integrated properly as well. We would have to use probably another software like a Calendly or something like that. So removing all of that noise has just made that super streamlined from us, from a lead to sales call to onboarding point of view. Very streamlined and very smooth.
Yeah, that's it. It's kind of one bill and everything in one place, so it makes your life a lot simpler.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So guys, remember you can book your free complimentary call and get clear recommendations and see how Delenta can simplify your tech stack, just making it effortless to scale your coaching business. Thanks a lot, Dara, for joining the call today. It's been great to hear about your business.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. And likewise, if anyone does want to book a connect call with us, if they are in the health, fitness, and wellness industry, we are here to help. And you can find our Delenta coaching pages on any of our social media profiles and handles. And thank you for having me.
Fabulous.